Hello everybody, I am Tom and you are watching me play Vampyr. In last week's episode we went around and we actually talked to everybody around here. In today's episode, I'm gonna continue doing that. I already talked to you. Yeah, you're Clarence. So I talked to all these people. That's Mr. Crossley. Alright, so I've talked to all these people. I need to talk to Mr. Crossley's wife. We knew Crossley from the war, and I spoke to his wife briefly, but now that I've spoken to Crossley, I'm gonna see if she has anything new to say. Also, there is a woman here. Hello. Hello.
Good evening, miss. Can I help you? I'm a doctor. Dr. Johnathan Reid.
I am Karina Billow. I don't need any doctor. The rats. Where are the rats?
Miss, you don't seem well at all. Are you afraid of rats? Has one bitten you?
No, it's me who bites them. Tasty, juicy, disgusting rats. I can't stop eating them. Help me, please. Help me to disobey the voice.
Intriguing. She's rather healthy, aside from the odd psychosis.
Tell me about yourself, Miss Billow. What do you do for a living?
Oh, I'm hungry. Need to eat. Have you got something for me? Blood, perhaps? Can you give me blood, Dr. Reid?
Don't you remember who you are, miss? What you did for work?
I was strong, proud. I campaigned for good causes. But that was before. It does not matter anymore. I'm so hungry.
She doesn't look like an Ekon.
What happened to you?
The rats. The answer hides in their little crunchy bones. Their juicy, tiny brains.
Miss Billow, please, try to concentrate. Why do you worry about rats so much?
The voice in my head. He forces me to do so. Drink their blood, he said. Eat their flesh.
Do you feel compelled to obey that voice, Miss Billow? Even if you're loath to submit to it?
Yes. Please. Help.
Tell me about the voice in your head. Who is it? Can you describe it? Is it someone you know? Someone you met?
Keep your mouth shut, he said. Don't ever speak about me, or I'll abandon you. Help me, please, Doctor.
Interesting. Karina only has incoherent speech when talking about what happened to her. It's clear psychosis, but...
What is the local news hereabouts, Miss Billow?
Shadows. Shadows hunting shadows. Whispers in the dark. Pestilence. Suffering. Death.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
Infection. Infection. The rats carry it, I heard. Rats. Rats. Many rats around that big house. Funny smell, too. Dead flesh.
And where is this house?
West of the park. Not very far. A big house with no sound, no light, no life left.
I must go now. Goodbye, Miss Billow.
I didn't do a whole lot to help her with her psychosis now, did I? Interesting. So she's got a voice in her head telling her to kill and eat rats. It's an interesting one. It's essentially a voice in her head that's, like, almost urging her to increase the infection. Even if somewhat inadvertently. Yeah, I think this thing is above me. Yeah, I think this quest is above me and I just can't get up to it yet. I think I need to get into Crossley's house. And his wife didn't let me in before. I'm gonna see if she does now that I've spoken to Crossley. But I think I need to get into his house and then go up to the top floor.
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
I can do this now.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan.
Crossley's house. Of course you may enter, old friend. He proceeds to steal all her shit.
You know that you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night?
She's even passive aggressive about it now. She doesn't want to see it. Let's have a chat.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
Interesting. The way she was talking about them there, she clearly still cares about him. I'll do this first.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their own house.
They could just be afraid of getting sick.
Perhaps you're right. But if I were you, I'd pay them a visit. A big house, reachable through a courtyard, to the north of the railway bridge.
She gave me the best direction so far, so that's something. They all point me in the same direction.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan, please accept my condolences for your sister.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden. And I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
It's an interesting attitude she has. Like, no doubt it is hard for a wife at home when their husband's at war, but like, it's not as hard as being in fucking war. Like, and she seems to almost resent her husband for coming back and not being the same person he was when he left.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
That would be annoying. And that's, as I was saying, she does seem to still care about her husband, which is something.
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
So you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires, would you have believed her? Seriously?
The important question is, what do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Johnathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
Okay. Now her resentment makes more sense. She thinks that he's invented this idea of vampires because he didn't want to tell her the true atrocities of war. Which, I mean, I'm sure a lot of men do.
Goodbye for now.
Well, a lot of men did, specifically. But I know there are quite a few veterans that don't talk about...
Mary came here with her husband and her son. They were such a beautiful...
That's intriguing. I have a brother-in-law. I also have a nephew. Yes, but there are a lot of veterans that tend not to speak about their times in war, which is completely understandable, but I wonder, it's probably fairly common as well that they invent... Probably not something as extreme as this, where he's talking about, like, ooh, vampires, but they probably invent a... I don't know, romanticized version, I guess? So that they don't burden the people they love with the true atrocities that they saw. Clearly very rich.
It's locked, all right.
Venus's journal. I spent the last day and night crying tears of joy. I did not know bliss could be so painful. My Clarence just wrote me. He is back from the war alive and unharmed. He'll be at home in 2 weeks. Thank God. Thank you so much. I can't wait. I can't wait to see my beloved husband again. Typo. Or a mistranslation. Clarence's attitude still worries me. He's not the same since he came back. The first few weeks, I thought it was just the necessary adjustment period, but his behaviour seemed to be more and more erratic. Nowadays, he spends all of his time outside, day and night, searching for evidence. He does not care about the flu, he does not care about me, he is starting to frighten me. I can't believe this. Clarence has spent half of his pension to print these stupid leaflets, holy shit. He now wants to, freely give them, another typo, freely give away in the neighbourhood. People are starting to laugh at me. Now he wants to organise some public lecture in a recent closed theatre, to warn me about the presence of evil creatures in London. Free entry, of course. My husband may have come back unharmed from the war, but I'm afraid he lost his mind over there. Clarence just confessed he has not spent half of his pension, but all of it, plus some, oh my god, plus some of our savings. Paper and inks cost so much because of the war, he said, but it was a cost we must pay. People openly mock us now, I don't know what to do. And then, like, a week and a bit later. Today the butcher, Mr. Galloway, sent me the monthly fee and requested payment in full. He also told me he now demanded to be paid each time we buy some meat from his shop, no more credit. The baker asked the same thing 2 days ago. First, I thought it was a new policy because of the restrictions of the epidemic, but it seems my friends still have financial agreements for the same shop. I am so ashamed I could not speak. Interesting. I mean, it's fair enough. We can't keep on like this. Clarence is completely mad. He is spending all of the money we have, and I don't see how to stop him. Sometimes I wish he had not come back from the war. That's a damn hard thing to come to. And again, she's writing that in a diary, which we're going in and reading, so you can't really judge her very well off that. Clarence or a vampire? Clarence is spending his family fortune to finance his campaign against vampires in the West End. Holy shit, he's gonna be fucked. Money's pretty much the only thing protecting him from the plague. Oh, the lost library. Oh, this is his... I see. This is his leaflet. Do vampires have allies among the living? Yes, they do. They call themselves the Brotherhood, and they serve the immortal masters in many ways, probably in exchange for privileges and knowledge. Somewhere in London is a seat of their power, where their secret council conspire against it. I call it the Lost Library. It is a place where these traitors gather many occult and lost books. I I personally offer £1,000 for the first person who can give me the proof of his existence of this library and its exact location. Clarence Crossley. £1,000. That's... He's offering like $1 million. Again, I will probably put a translation of what £1,000 actually is. I don't know if it's actually $1 million. Uh-huh. Interesting. This is where I wanted to go for that side quest, so great, I guess.
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign.
Means someone's dead, presumably. Emily's love letter, 5th of November. My dear Jacques, I can't wait to see you again. Tonight, tomorrow, I can hardly wait. Since we kissed on the bridge while the moon was so bright in the night sky, I want to feel your teeth on my lips. Oh, sorry. That wasn't a misspelling, that was my misreading. Your teeth again on my lips. Oh, the excruciating pain of your sweet bite on my neck, you... Oh my god. You devil, you. For the longest second ever, I feared you were going to kill me right there on that bridge in the middle of the night. But no, my dear Jacques. You remain the delicate fiancé I know you are. And you are only teasing me. I can't wait to drink your blood, for good. This time, and come back to my sweet friend Charlotte as an immortal. To play with her a little first, of course, like you taught me how to play with mortals, and then I'll turn her into one of us too, and we will rule the night of London and cleanse this city of its impure souls.
Emily wanted to... No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
How do you know it's a killer? He may have turned her. But it seems that Emily was also telling her about vampires. Don't know what I'm searching the room for. Emily's missing. Search the room. What am I searching the room for? Ah.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
Did I just drop down there? Yes. I'm a vampire after all. I guess it's not that surprising. Does it go this way? No, it goes this way, by the look of it. Oh, that worked. My upgraded weapon seems to actually work quite well. Hello.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I'm not here to sustain myself. I'm currently investigating the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
Interesting.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
Probably before. Do you have no memory of what it was before? Also interesting that...
What do you plan to do here?
I'll go into it later.
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
Interesting.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood.
Yeah.
It happens,
Okay.
you know? Sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
I think I do believe him.
I believe you, sir. Emily's diary confirms your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
I mean, the man's a clear sadist. But he didn't kill her. I mean, maybe he is gonna kill other people, and I could believe that's a possibility, but he certainly didn't kill her. Okay, so we're back. My game crashed. I hope I can redo the conversation, because I'd started the conversation with Charlotte, and I don't know how that's gonna go.
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
There we go. I found Emily, there
I
we go.
have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure? To become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood.
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
Thanks? She gave me a steak. What the fuck?
I'm investigating the source
we've
of
already
the
done
epidemic
this.
in this district.
Ugh.
Have you noticed
skip?
anything Where is it?
It's the...
I can't.
Goodbye.
She's been quite busy these last few
I
nights.
accidentally skipped.
I suspect you may see her before me.
Indeed. Alright, so we've finished that side quest, and that's probably going to be it for this, this episode. I want to have a look at this steak. 35 stun. It's already maxed, I think? Uh, 38... 41... 41, and then bring the stamina consumption down to... 24? 24 or 25, depending on whether or not that is additive percentage or not. Huh. That's a lot of stun. How much stun does my weapon have? 21. Hard to say. I'm used to the two-handed weapon now. I think I'm going to continue using it. But it's good to know that I have a fallback on to a single-handed if I need it. Smoking. Anyway, that's going to be it for now. So if you like the video, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed already, please consider subscribing. All that kind of stuff. We're sort of getting into endgame territory here, I believe. Oh, there's apparently 2 sources of infection. I only remember being told about one. There was one in a house across the railway station, like over here somewhere. God damn it. I forgot. You've got to actually edge pan to move this map around. So where was I? I was here. So there's one here, and then there's a bit of an area up here to explore. Also, apparently I can talk to Dr. Swansea about something, so it's tempting to go back and do that, but I also want to keep just doing this area. Let's have a look here. Find an exceptional restaurant, fair enough. Huh. Interesting. Find 6 articles about vampires for Clarence Crossley. Can I track that? No, I just need to find them randomly, it seems. Alright, anyway. Again, I'm sort of rambling at this point, but thank you for watching. I shall see you next time. Bye, guys.